Hello everyone, my name is Dan Casey and I'm going to be your professor for this term, and the course of course is Philosophy 241, Social and Political Philosophy. I want to take a few moments to introduce you to the course. This is going to be brief. First, let me talk about the topics that we'll be looking at. There are a number of ways to teach social and political philosophy, but we're going to be approaching it from a somewhat different point of view than is usually the case, I believe, and certainly different from the times that I've taught it before. And in point of fact, I haven't taught this for many years, and our head of our department, Peter Motto, asked me if I would like to teach it, and I said that I certainly would. The three broad topics that we're going to be looking at, the first of these is a standard topic in social and political philosophy, and that is social contract and social contract theory. In this context, we'll be looking at the work of Hobbes, Thomas Hobbes, a 17th century figure. John Locke, who some of you may be familiar with, he was certainly very influential to the founders of American democracy, Jefferson and Monroe in particular, his views on the social contract, and also Jean-Jacques Rousseau. In addition to that, we'll look at Karl Marx, who is not exactly a social contract theorist, but the idea of a stateless society is one that is still influential in certain political quarters today. And then finally, to modern iterations of the social contract, those by John Rawls, who argues for the need for a welfare state, and Robert Nozick, who argues pretty much for the opposite. Nozick argues for a kind of minimal state and structured anarchy. So those will be the topics that we'll look at. In terms of the conduct of the course, for your assignments, which are always something that you're interested in knowing about, there are going to be 5. There will be midterm and final papers. And in addition, there will be, over the course of the quarter, 3 discussion board posts. So they average out to an assignment roughly every 2 weeks. They're not exactly spaced like that, but it is fairly close. I'll have more to talk about these, more to say about these as they come up. Please remember that your assignments should be timely. Late assignments will be penalized. The information for this can be found in the syllabus. I would urge you to pay attention to the syllabus. And I would also urge you to pay attention to the course, just as I don't know if this is exactly a warning, but it is a point of fact that we have access to the metrics for online courses, so I can see over the course of time who is spending time with the course, who is not spending time with the course, and all of this will be in the end factored into the grade that you receive. In the end, though, the quality of your work is the most important criterion. I will, of course, urge you to spend a reasonable amount of time looking at the material that we present. I hope to make it as interesting as possible. We'll see about that. Books. We have 2 assigned works. One is On the Philosophy of Law, if I can get an interview, by David Reedy. That's a recent publication. In fact, both of these are out within the last decade anyway. That's published in 2007. And the second book is newer, published in 2013, and it is called Terrorism: A Philosophical Investigation by Igor Primorac, who is a Croatian who spent time at the University of Jerusalem and now teaches, as a matter of fact, in Australia. I found the book to be interesting. We'll look at the 3 topics I think are interconnected. We'll look at social contract theory, which concerns the responsibilities of government to their citizens and vice versa. You'll see that a lot of those responsibilities are structured and enforced by law, and we'll look at the nature of law itself, which is unusual in a social and political philosophy course, for a couple of weeks in the middle of the term. Finally, the last part of the term, which we'll cover at this time, my planned idea is 4 weeks, is a philosophical analysis of how terrorism fits in with both social contract theory and the nature of law. I can't tell you exactly what we'll cover here, interestingly enough, because this is a new venture for me. I have a rough idea, and I've given you a short sketch, very brief, in the syllabus, but I'll give you more information as we go along. Other than that, office hours. I have found that, I don't know if any of you have heard of the Maytag repairman. I don't think that refers actually anymore. It is an old commercial, and they show a repairman who works for the Maytag Corporation. And he is always alone and bored because Maytags are so reliable. Well, what I find is that when I do office hours at a set time, that I am always alone and bored. So I only do them anymore after several years of teaching online courses. The first couple of weeks of the term, if I see that there is a regular demand for them, then I will continue them. However, these office hours will be over Blackboard Learn using Blackboard Collaborate, and I will post those hours at the beginning of the term next week. After that, appointments are made. That is, I'll have office hours, but they will be by appointment. You contact me. You tell me what it is that you would like to discuss and when you would like to discuss it, and we'll see if we can set up some sort of mutual time. Or if you just want to talk in general, we can set up a mutual time. We can do that via Skype. What I find is standardly that students are content to contact me by email, and my email address can be found in the syllabus. It is casey.dj@drexel.edu, and as I said, that is there in the syllabus for you to look up. And in any event, I'll be sending out announcements, and you can respond to the announcements that you get. Okay, so I wish you all luck in the term. I hope you all pay attention, and I hope you all do as well as you can possibly do. Thank you.